Lawyers are calling it a case of police brutality, and now they want answers.
Robert Johnson, who says Amarillo officers assaulted him while on his bike, believes officers may have planted marijuana on him and are now asking for a DNA test of those officers. ABC 7's Natalie Granda is live at the Amarillo Police Station with more. Natalie?
Good evening, Lisa and Larry. Well, like you guys said, Johnson's lawyers say they believe the officers are abusing the system in more ways than one. And just 2 days ago, they filed this motion for the officer's DNA to be tested to determine whether he may have planted marijuana on Johnson. And his defense lawyers also tell me that Johnson is considered intellectually impaired, and that means that he actually has more rights that prevent him from being abused by government employees. So I spoke to his defense lawyers today about this motion and to Potter County attorneys who say they don't think they should be the ones who pay for the tests. Lawyers call these serious allegations. Did police plant marijuana on Amarillo resident Robert Johnson? His defense team say that's what they believe.
We think the police planted marijuana on this kid for no reason at all other than the fact that he doesn't have a headlight on his bicycle. They yank him off, beat him up. You got to have some charge that might stick. Throwing marijuana down on somebody is a great way to do that.
Johnson's lawyer, Jeff Blackburn, who's handling this case pro bono, says Johnson was riding his bike back in March down 24th Avenue, where police were finishing up with a case.
As far as we can tell, their reasoning was that he was invading their crime scene, except he wasn't. There was no tape up. There was no obstacle up.
Blackburn says officers told Johnson to stop as he was riding by. He says Johnson tried to put his feet down to stop since his bike had no brakes, but then says officers began beating him.
The only crime he committed was not having a headlight on a bicycle.
According to the police incident report, it states Johnson was found with 2 black baggies and charged with possession of marijuana. However, Blackburn says after several requests, the baggies were tested and none of Johnson's DNA was found. Now they want more proof and say they want the officers to be tested for DNA.
Now what we're down to is to see if any of his skin cells, or even more important, how about the cops' skin cells?
Blackburn says the DNA must be done by a private lab, which could cost more than $1,000, something he says the county should pay for.
If the county wants to prosecute him, then they need to pay to make sure that he is prosecuted correctly.
However, a Potter County attorney says they don't see the reason to impose this cost on taxpayers.
We don't think there is a legitimate legal basis to impose that expense on the state or the county.
APD says they cannot go into the specifics of the investigation, but it has been completed and handed over to the county attorney. Potter County attorneys also say that pre-trial meetings are set for June 30th, and we'll keep you guys updated as this case continues. Live at the Amarillo Police Department, I'm Natalie Granda, ABC 7 News.